Smersh Pod.
But what's interesting for me about this film is it starts off with a space shuttle fucking a plane.
Yep.
Which is quite pretentious.
Yeah. The other thing is this film is all about fucking.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, there's a space shuttle that fucks a plane so hard the plane explodes. And that's pretty much the theme of the film, because generally women that Bond fuck in general die.
Yeah.
So it's like Bond is the shuttle is Bond. It's literally, if you wanted to get sort of metaphorical about this, the whole thing's like one giant self-informing loop.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like Bond could poison the world at the end with his penis or something. And he's zapping it with his cock.
It's kind of like he's having one of those strangle wanks.
It's a 2-hour strangle wank. If you're 10 or 12 watching this, what on earth do you think sex is?
I don't know.
Well,
I still don't know.
He has sex with people to get information out of them. You could just ask. If you took Bond's approach to life, you went out on the street and tried to sort of ask for directions using sex. It's such an odd... I mean, but this is the thing about this period of Bond. Stop asking questions, sit back and enjoy a ride.
Absolutely, yeah. Because not only does he have sex with people when he's asking them things, it's like when he's got nothing to do.
Yeah.
It's like, what should we do now?
Yeah.
And he starts undressing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that actually happens. It's just, what can you do when you've got 5 hours to kill in Brazil and you can't samba?
Yeah.
Would learn to samba.
That would be brilliant if that was the next scene, her teaching him how to samba. Thanks very much. Do you fancy having sex? No, not really. Oh, all right.
Also, 5 hours.
Yeah.
Come off it.
Yeah, come on. Unless it's Sting. And that's him just getting started.
A View to Kill is bad.
Yeah.
I almost feel that all Bond films peaked with Moonraker. That it's been downhill ever since.
I can see where you're coming from, but I like View to a Kill.
Right, of course you do. Why?
Because it's fun.
Oh, because it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
But he's too old, isn't he? That is the point where he is too old.
Yeah, but this goes back to what you were saying before, isn't it? Stop asking questions.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Why would a 64-year-old man be a secret agent? Just don't worry about it.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Sorry, I was contradicting myself there. I'm going to backpedal from that. Yeah, he looks brilliant in that film.
Well, let's not go that far. But there's one moment when he's in the G-force machine, where he's going mad in that. I thought that's how he looks in View to a Kill. It's like they're trying to say
it's a flash forward.
Yeah.
Stay with the franchise and this is what you'll get.
Spinning out of control and looking very old. I liked it that when Bond is in that G-force machine and he thinks he's going to die, the last thought that goes through his mind is quite beautiful, is of Q.
Yeah.
And a horse's bum.
Well... that is a beautiful thing. It is beautiful that Q has actually come up with exactly the gadget he needs.
He tends to do that.
An unpredicted situation.
But I'd be quite upset if I went to heaven and St. Peter said to me, what was the last thing that went through your mind? And I said, Q's fat fucking pig hands. He has got the worst hands.
No, he's appalling hands. But, but that's years of spilt solder and things blowing up in his hands. Okay, there we go again. Spilt solder, things blowing up in his hands. You know what I mean? And he's a craftsman. I
think we all know what you mean. There's proper acting, I thought, from Roger Moore. When he comes out of the G-force machine, he gives a proper turn there.
Yeah, he staggers about.
Yeah. And she's like, you're right. And he's like, get off. There's a bit in this I question Drax, actually, amongst other things. But when he brings Bond out and says, do you shoot pheasants?
Yeah.
And secretly his man's gone in the tree.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, you missed.
Yeah.
Because Bond shoots. And then Bond says, did I? And the man falls out. And Drax is basically like, all right, see you later then.
Yeah.
Just lets him go.
Yeah.
I think, well, the game's up. He knows that you're trying to kill him. Why not just strangle him?
Well, set the dogs on him.
Yeah.
Well, because obviously they're trying to make it look like an accident, a shooting accident. Just shoot him.
Yeah.
Say it was an accident.
Yes. Or like push him off a cliff and say he fell.
But the thing is, I think maybe why I love this film so much when I was a kid is because a lot of the storytelling is literally how kids tell stories. So it's Bond goes to Drax's palace, and then he meets a girl, and then he opens a safe, and then he goes back to a room, and then he gets up in the morning, and then he goes shooting, and then they try to shoot him, and then it's just and then. It's just a series of one thing after another, rather than there's no kind of impetus to any of it. Piazza San Marco, right?
Yeah.
Which is where he comes up in a hovercraft gondola.
Yeah.
And a pigeon does a double take.
Does he?
Well, a pigeon
is made to look
helped,
like...
helped to do a double take.
Yeah.
But do you think they tried?
I reckon they
I
did.
think they did. I think they spent a whole afternoon with it, or a day with a pigeon.
There was probably a bloke going, look, I've got this pigeon, he can do a double take. And they tried all day and it wouldn't work. We'll fix it in post,
The
don't
pigeon
worry.
was on more money than one of the actors. That'll be the... I remember on the Harry Hill show, there was a dog, and everyone grumbling that the dog was on more money than us. But I think Burt Kwok started that rumour. Anyway, no, but he drives into Piazza San Marco.
Yeah.
There's no way out of there that isn't like an archway, that could probably take 3 people, 4 people abreast. So you've got to assume that what he does is he drives it to one of those archways, blocks the archway with the gondola, jumps off and then runs. There is nowhere for Bond to go.
No.
From drive, I mean, it's spectacular. Make no mistake. And the times I've been there, you stand and you think, "There's where he came up on it. There's where he came up on a hovercraft gondola." But there's no, he can't go anywhere. He could do a figure of 8 and drive back into the water.
But that would be suicide, wouldn't
That would be suicide. Although they've fallen in, haven't they?
I was going to say, we never find out, because as soon as he goes on the land, they're all like, oh
well, never mind.
Let him go.
Yeah. And given that you've got to get on and off Venice itself,
Yeah.
it'd be quite easy to seal the exits and...
Yeah, they just give up.
They just give up, don't they?
Every henchman Drax has hired in this film just can't be asked. And Bond murders 2 people just by being a clumsy prick.
Yeah.
Because he has a go at the glass thing.
Yeah.
And puts it very precariously on the side of something.
Yeah.
And then watches them die.
Yes, he does, doesn't he? But you get the feeling that Bond's watched an awful lot of people die. So you think, oh well, all right.
Yeah, that's right.
Let that go. Well, I'll let that go.
It'd be better if one of those scientists were died, if it cut back to Bond and he just opened a bag of Monster Munch. Having a little eat.
Well, cheerio, chaps. Yeah.
Nothing I can do. I'll just have a little have the snack if you don't mind. But you have to question Drax again though, because he, if I remember rightly,
he seems to know M, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So what the fuck's going on there?
Yeah, sex games.
Well, yeah, because there's the thing about Bond and M going
to Hong Kong.
They're clearly getting up to something.
We're not allowed to hear that.
Yeah.
So I think M's into serious shit, because in this film, he died very shortly afterwards. He doesn't look very well.
No, he doesn't.
He looks very pale.
They've all got that look of men who've been drinking since 1943.
Yeah.
Saw something horrible on a convoy.
He literally hasn't stopped drinking since 1943. Maybe that's why Q's got such giant hands. They're just full of whiskey.
Full of booze. There's that really great thing I love from movies of that period, where it switches between the set and the location.
Yeah.
And they don't give a fuck. Right? They just don't give a fuck. Makes it look like, at times, like Dad's Army, you know, that thing with Dad's Army where they would shoot the location stuff on film and everything else on videotape in a studio, like done as a play in the evening, basically.
Yeah.
So Bond films have that look sometimes, and that cable car scene does veer wildly between the set, the actor that Jaws is gesturing at, like speeding up and slowing down the cable cars, and the real place.
And the stuntman.
Who
wasn't tied on, fucking lunatic.
That's health and safety gone mad.
It is.
All those, I mean, it's like the skydiving at the start. They're actually doing all that. That's what the other thing I really love. Although you do get that really heavy join between the location, the set they're going to blow up, and then the actual location. All the stunts happened, and there's none of this CGI where you can see the CGI. No, it's awesome.
That's why they're such brilliant. These ones, particularly the 70s ones, they were really like, right, we're going to out-stunt ourselves in the next one. And I know after this one, they just completely dialed it down. Jaws meets Dolly.
Yeah.
It's just a bit weird.
It is weird because she's got those pigtails on and their glasses. They're going to go, oh, without the pigtails and the glasses, you're so beautiful. That's what they're expecting us to think.
Yeah, but they don't.
But then they don't do it.
It's like I think they're trying to make her look ugly or to conceal how beautiful she.
Yeah, like not blow dry her hair like a Bond girl.
So they're trying to say that Jaws can only really get
ugly women.
But he's quite ugly himself, so that's fine. And again, going back to the word of this podcast, it's been ruled by the word logistics. But the logistics of Dolly and Jaws having it off are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, they are. And mutual oral pleasure with his teeth.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's probably best that the logistics don't work for that.
Probably is. You have to rule that out.
I mean, with those teeth.
I don't want to think about it.
I don't want to know.
Hopefully they're stainless steel. But I thought that Drax's plan is a bit like Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, because he's like taking these super cool people away. I'm not suggesting for a minute Richard Branson's going to wipe out humanity.
Well, he might by accident.
But it made me think
He's
of that.
dyslexic, isn't he? He could press the wrong button.
Oh, my God.
He keeps on going about how brilliant he is because he's just dyslexic. He was in the paper again this week going, I'm great because I'm dyslexic. Or, I mean, maybe I misunderstood what he was trying to say, but he was saying dyslexic people have great potential, and I'm dyslexic, and therefore I'm great. He sort of uses that, that he was lucky, doesn't come into it. Mike Oldfield never comes into this argument.
No. He should do.
He should do.
Every argument.
Yeah. But
I mean, generally. Well, this is something that confused me earlier on, is that every time you saw Drax earlier on, he was accompanied by two
beautiful women.
And then at the end, you see them all aboard.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Has he been trying them all out?
I think so.
Drax could save himself a lot of bother, couldn't he? By taking like 3 other blokes with him.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is women.
Yeah.
Why is he bothering with all the other blokes?
I don't know. He'd probably kill them.
Well, he probably will, yeah.
Eat them in case things go wrong.
Well, okay. So they're there for their dual purpose.
Sustenance.
Because otherwise it doesn't make any sense, does it? Certainly not what I would do.
No. How many would you take? If you were in the 70s, not now, obviously.
I think you'd have to take, I don't know, probably 144. You take a gross of women with you.
A gross of women. How many men?
6.
That sounds fine. The ratio works.
Yeah, that works, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm wondering about Jaws and Dolly again.
Yeah.
Because at the end, Jaws, as I mentioned earlier, turncoats and realises, no, this is wrong. I don't want anyone on Earth to die, even though I'm quite happy to murder anyone you like, boss.
But wait. But soft. Does he change his mind because the Earth's at stake? Or because Drax makes it perfectly clear he's going to kill him?
Oh, no, that's it. No, I'm sorry, I'm completely wrong. Drax basically says anyone who's not a perfect human
doesn't
specimen doesn't fit
for the chop.
You're fucking nearly 8 foot tall and you look like a arsehole.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend's a bit weird looking.
She's small and her genital's been shredded in an appalling 69 incident.
So you're both no good to me. So obviously, Jaws reads into that and says, hang on.
Yeah, he doesn't. Jaws isn't doing it for the sake of mankind.
No.
But that's actually within character. That's the killer's self-preservation instinct rather than any great grand principle, isn't it? So I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense.
You should do a BBC 4 show about that.
I mean, why did they take Jaws with them anyway?
Well, this is the question. If he wasn't, part of the programme, maybe just for a day out.
Because you could just say to him, oh, you're on the next space shuttle.
Yeah, just wait here.
You wait here, you're on the next one.
Maybe he had a really big chair he wanted to test.
I mean, he's a good adversary, though, isn't he? It's right, isn't it?
You know the bit in the alleyway where Bond's gone in the building and that 12-year-old girl is there and Jaws slowly walks up the alley with that giant clown head on?
Yeah.
That terrified me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and he's going to bite her neck out as well. I mean, even though he could just strangle her.
Well, there's bits in this film, I mean, he picks Roger Moore up later, and in The Spy Who Loved Me, you see it as well. His hands are as big as Roger Moore's head, and when he Bond's in the water and he picks him out of the water, his hands cover his whole head. That's terrifying if you're a child. That James Bond's head is as small as this man's. Well, not as small, but
yeah, the same size. Yeah. The thing is, that all the elements are present and correct in this film. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think obviously because this film was so expensive, and I think after this they decided to dial it down a bit. And they got a new director for the next one, which we'll talk about another time. But yeah, he was very keen to ground it again. And I think they lost something there.
Yeah, big mistake. But it's like that old Stuart Lee routine, once you've been to the moon, once you've been to space, you come back and what do you do next? In a way, why Buzz Aldrin had his nervous breakdown and became an alcoholic.
Yeah, what, from watching Moonraker?
Yeah.
I didn't know I'd get a shag. Neil wasn't up for it. Oh, this is actually one last thing.
Go on.
How many times has M witnessed Bond fucking? Because in this one, he, just attempting re-entry.
He's having space sex. The thing is, I mean, there always used to be the thing with the spatial in there. They get some dust in the control panel and it would short circuit something would go wrong. It would be grounded it. I mean, there's jizz floating around in this space shuttle. It's going to get under a button. It
is.
And they'll be trying to fire the parachute when they land. And it's tacky with...
Yeah, that's not a nice image, is it?
No.
Smersh Pod.